Thank you for making time for us on NTV Weekend Edition. We are coming to you live from the nation's center here in the capital city, Nairobi. Among the top stories tonight: corruption in the counties. Your governors planned to pay billions of shillings for illegitimate deals. Also tonight, the push and pull over the referendum journey.
Wewe jaribu kupitisha hiyo mswada ikikuja hii bunge la Garissa, alafu wewe tutapambana na wewe kama jamii.
Plus,
Joka Denge leaves a legacy that is unequal. Tunataka kusindikiza Kadenge kama hero.
Calls for the creation of a National Heroes Fund as legendary footballer Joka Denge is laid to rest. And
okay, I don't know. I give up.
Women and their cars. How well do they know them?
Whenever I'm stranded, I always call my husband. He always comes to my rescue.
I've experienced that a lot, of women being conned.
A stereotype or a limited perspective?
This is NTV Weekend Edition with Edmond Nyabola.
Welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is David Agondoa, and we ask for your company for the next 60 minutes. Now tonight, county governors are in the spotlight of a dark revelation, more so in these times of heightened focus on corruption in a country that is choking on the grip of cartels in and out of government. Billions of shillings worth of payments that the counties wanted to make in the 2017-2018 financial year are not legitimate. They either lacked documentation or were to be paid out with work not having been done. Billions of shillings for nothing, it appears. This is according to the Auditor General, who in a report indicates that of the 108 billion shillings that governors quoted as pending bills, only 51 billion shillings are authentic debts. Silas Apollo kicks off our broadcast with the report on the suspected corruption in the counties.
Earth-moving machines dig into the ground, a sign of development in the counties. But the Auditor General has dug up other developments in the devolved units. A report by Edward Ouko's office showed that the counties were planning to pay about 37.7 billion shillings in unsubstantiated deals in the year ending June 2018. County government submitted to the Controller of Budget a list of pending bills amounting to 108.4 billion shillings. But the actual figures in the list submitted to the Auditor General amounted to just under 89 billion shillings, a 19.4 billion shillings difference. Of the 89 billion shillings in actual bills, according to the Auditor General, those that are eligible for payment amount to 51.2 billion shillings, while those that the taxpayer should not pay for, classified as ineligible, amount to 37.7 billion shillings. Those ineligible billions of shillings worth of illegitimate monies were classified as ineligible on account of the lack of documentation and work or services not done or delivered. The report on the status of pending bills in counties put governors on the spot, with Ouko saying that at least 3 governors have already irregularly paid 500 million shillings for the ineligible bills. Nairobi County is the worst of the 47. Governor Mike Sonko plans to pay 11.4 billion shillings to creditors that Ouko say do not merit payment. His administration also owes legitimate creditors 11.8 billion shillings, and he has only paid 954 million shillings. His Turkana counterpart, Josephat Nanok, quoted 3.8 billion shillings as debts to entities, which Ouko says should not be paid, with 1.8 billion shillings being eligible for payment. Nanok has only paid 99 million shillings to deserving farms. Nakuru Governor Lee Kinyanjui's government intended to pay 2 billion shillings in illegitimate deals. Governor Ferdinand Waititu's administration wanted Kiambu to pay 1.4 billion shillings in illegitimate debts. Other payments that were to go to questionable recipients include 1.6 billion shillings by Homa Bay County, 1.7 billion shillings by Kwale County. Mombasa quoted 1.8 billion shillings and West Pokot 1.2 billion shillings. The findings now raise questions of accountability in counties and the red flag that some governors could have made fictitious payments that make light the sweat of the burdened taxpayer. But the Council of Governors Chairman Wycliffe Oparanya has defended the county bosses before, saying counties have structures in place to oversee and control payments, including IFMIS. Silas Apollo, NTV.
Now, the Punguza Mizigo constitutional amendment push has been on the spotlight on the members of county assemblies who are either to pass it or reject it. However, this is already begun to get opposition, and harshly so. National Assembly Majority Leader Edmond has threatened members of county assembly in his county will vote in favor of the bill that they face the wrath of Mwananchi. Various leaders have, however, yet to expressly declare support for the proposed law, even as MPs show signs to reject it.
Third Way Alliance Punguza Mizigo Bill may have received a nod from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, but not so for the National Assembly Majority Leader Aden Duale, on account of its intent to reduce the number of members of parliament from 416 to 147.
Ati utowe Garissa iko na 6 constituencies, ubakishe moja. Sisi kama wafugaji hatuko tayari kuunga hiyo referendum kama itatoa viti za ward na constituency.
The bill, which seeks to increase monies allocated to counties, make county wards the primary unit for development, and introduce a single 7-year term president, will be forwarded to the 47 county assemblies to either approve or reject it. Some members of the National Assembly are against the bill in what has been criticized as an inward-looking move.
Wewe kama ni MCA kutoka Dadaab, kutoka Ijara, kutoka Fafi, kutoka Bura, kutoka Barambala na Nagdera na Township, wewe jaribu kupitisha hiyo mswada ikikuja hii bunge la Garissa, alafu wewe tutapambana na wewe kama jamii.
Kiongozi fulani akiingia kubadilisha katiba. Hii Kenya ita stabilize kama America lini.
The bill needs to be approved by at least 24 county assemblies to move to the next stage, which is parliament. Some other leaders are still non-committal on expressly supporting the proposed law, but are in agreement that a referendum may be in their offing.
I will defend any amendments to the Constitution that do not tamper with the devolution. As long as there is strengthened devolution, we shall be there.
Kama kazi ni kuongezea viti wanaume kadhaa pale juu, hiyo referendum itakuwa dead on arrival.
Tunajua ya kwamba mambo ya referendum yanakuja. As the Minister for Devolution, I want to urge you, let us make devolution the centerpiece of the constitutional discourse. When devolution wins, we all win.
The politics of referendum are once again at play with this latest development in the quest to change the Kenyan constitution. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto has urged governors and the Senate to revert to dialogue in a bid to find a harmonious end to the current impasse on the division of revenue bill. The DP urges that the courts that they seek redress from will not solve the problem but only give guidance. But according to Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula, no dialogue can happen if the amounts being given to the counties are under the CRA recommendation of 335 billion shillings. Leila Mohammed has more.
The battle on the share of the national pie has been fought to the floors of both houses of parliament. The division of revenue battle then took to the streets and into the courtrooms of both the High and Supreme Courts.
If you can send Rotich back when he brings his proposal in the budget, and you send him back because he has not factored in certain allowances, send him back when he's taking money away from the county governments so that he puts it back. Out of a budget of 3.2 trillion Kenya shillings, less than 10% inatakana ikuje kwa counties.
But according to Deputy President William Ruto, this might not yield much, noting that the government has published a bill which is expected to ensure that revenue allocation favors devolution going forward.
Kotini haiwezi kugawa pesa, lakini kotini inaweza kutupatia mwelekeo wa vile pesa hizi zitagawanywa tukienda mbele. So there is no harm. Let us respect the law, let us respect the constitution, but let us look for harmony.
Hii difference ya 10 billion honorable governors, sioni kama itatushinda. Let us talk together and I'm sure we'll find a solution to strengthen devolution.
But senators who have been at loggerheads with members of the National Assembly believe that a roundtable discussion can only happen when the Commission of Revenue Allocation recommended figure is passed by the National Assembly. However, MPs argue that the economy cannot sustain the senators' and governors' demands.
335 billion. It's inadequate, but we in the Senate have accepted it. It's grossly inadequate in a budget of 3.2 trillion. Give the counties the 335 billion and all the cases in court will collapse, all the noises will collapse, and everybody will sit down to work as we negotiate for more resources coming to the county.
The issue is, hii pesa itatoka wapi? Kama serikali kuu haina pesa, sasa mimi nataka kuwauliza, kupata pesa ni rahisi. Lazima you must tell us where that shortfall will come from.
The Council of Governors gets their day in court Tuesday next week. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
Away from that, the 97th Ushirika Day celebrations have been marked today, and thousands of farmers who are members of the Kenya Planters Cooperative Union and the Kenya Farmers Association could soon get their cooperatives revived and better managed if a directive by President Uhuru Kenyatta to the Cabinet Secretary for Trade and Cooperatives, Peter Munya, is dealt to ensure that malpractices are dealt with is fully implemented. Alex Mwangi has more.
Farmers allied to the Kenya Planters Cooperative Union and the Kenya Farmers Association have for years experienced upheavals in the governance of the associations, leading to their collapse.
Juzi tuliweka pesa kwa kahawa, lakini bado wakulima bado wako na taabu. Na leo hii nimeamrisha Waziri Munya kutoka Jumatatu ya siku hii KPCU na KFA tuingie huko ndani, tujue ni nini, turudishe hizo kwa wananchi wa Kenya.
The contribution of the cooperative movement to the welfare of Kenyans, such as those in the agriculture industry, remains significant to economic performance.
The amount of milk that we are receiving in this facility, the payout to the farmers is 2 billion per year. So with the expanded capacity that we have installed today, that we are able to process 160, but the capacity we can do 300,000 liters per day.
Kenya's cooperative movement, which is healthier than that of other African countries and peer nations, continues to grow in stature both in terms of membership and the volume of deposits. This has enabled SACCOs to venture into new areas of investment.
We've seen there was actually a gap within the information technology management, and being a leader in the sector, we decided that we want to invest on a data center which is robust, where we can host our system and also we host our other institutions and SACCOs.
The president began his day with a visit to the new Kenya Cooperative Creameries plant in Dandora to commission the expanded facility.
Ningependa directors wetu wa KCC wajue, hapo awali ni wengine kama nyinyi muliangusha hii factory. Mimi nawaomba nyinyi ambao sasa mmepatiwa kazi, na washukuru kwa kazi njema ambaye mumeendelea kufanya, lakini msilegee. Msione sasa kwa sababu mmefaulu na hii muanze kulegea. Muanze kualao mambo ingine, panya roots ingine ambazo zinakuja kutuletea shida.
He later went on to Upper Hill to commission Mwalimu Towers, the 21-storied headquarters of Mwalimu National SACCO that was built at a cost of 2.3 billion shillings. Alex Mwangi, NTV.
Now, cultivating a savings culture by consistently saving a penny for a rainy day is not an easy feat, but for those who sow the seeds, the season of harvesting their fruits is one that brings financial stability. That is the story of a 73-year-old man who joined Stima Sacco as a young man. Long after retirement, he says the savings he made in the Sacco have afforded him a comfortable life. Lilian Kiari with that story on this Ushirika Day.
A cool afternoon in Nairobi's Kileleshwa area, we find 73-year-old John Makori watering plants in his house. He has been retired for the last 18 years after working at Kenya Power from 1971 to 2001. When Stima Sacco was established in 1974, Makori was one of its founding members.
When I joined initially, it was for saving. It was a way of saving. Well, I don't think I had any particular idea, but I thought, why don't I save some money? My pension, which goes through Stima account, it's very easy for me to get a loan anytime.
At the time he joined the Sacco, he was 30 years old.
It has made me. I've got a nice car now. I bought from Stima through Stima Cooperative. And I live comfortably.
What started as a society for East African Power and Lighting Company staff has grown to absorb 114,071 members, controlling an asset base of 33.2 billion shillings, a feat that has seen it ranked as the second largest society in the country by the Sacco Society's regulatory authority. As at May this year, the Sacco's loan book stood at 25.4 billion shillings, while the savings stood at 26.3 billion shillings.
We do have 9 branches. In excess of 70% of our membership is the aging generation. It's the older people. And we fear that if we should continue that way, we are going to lose it.
The Sacco has launched products to woo the youth.
We have a product, the Empower. You just need to go to *489#, and there you are. We require that every member, as you join membership, you buy shares of 25,000. That is shares worth 25,000, and you don't have to pay them at once. You can pay in installments.
The society has a share capital of 1.6 billion shillings.
The fruits of shares and dividends. And the dividends we have paid in the past, like 3-4 years, is 14%. These deposits, we have paid interest rebates of 11% for a long time.
The recent Sacco sectoral lending report by SASRA indicates that most Kenyans take loans to purchase land or to build houses. The Sacco has tapped into the demand for housing and has invested into the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company, one of the arms tasked with providing housing under the government's Big Four agenda. The deposit-taking society has distanced itself from troubled Stima Investment Sacco, which it is often confused for.
In the next 5 years, the Sacco is looking at increasing its asset base to 75 billion shillings, which is more than double of what it currently has, and generating a revenue of 13.4 billion shillings. Lillian Kiarie, NTV.
The idea there, of course, is for you to save money for that rainy day. You never know. Maybe after your retirement as well, you might need that money, or even your family. But away from that, legendary footballer Joe Kadenge has been laid to rest at his home in Kidinya Village, Hamisi constituency in Vihiga County, with a call on the national and county governments to create a policy for honoring national heroes. ODM leader Raila Odinga led thousands of mourners in marking the final burial rites for Kadenge. NTV's Zacchaeus Masami was there for us, and he filed this report.
Thousands of mourners turned out at Gisambai Primary School to bid farewell to the football legend Joe Kadenge, who passed on early this month at a Nairobi hospital. A number of speakers who took to the podium praised Kadenge's prowess in football that saw the Kenyan football team challenge other nations in the 1950s and 1960s.
Dana Nyanzwa, number 7, Joe Kadenge, number 8, Ambani, number 9 alikuwa Umachege, number 10 Madegwa, number 11 Nyawanga.
Joe Kadenge leaves a legacy that is unequal. He's here in Vihiga that we also buried one of our heroes, Daudi Kabaka.
It's not about the individual or whatever. It is a legacy for this country. So I'm pleading that we do not belabor this so that we put it to closure.
Others took issue with how the government has been handling legends who have in the past brought pride to the nation.
We must go and look at that Heroes Act, draft the regulations, because you can't operationalize the act without regulations. Make sure we broaden the net to bring in every hero and heroine in this country.
Heshima ya Joe Kadenge. Nataka kuambia Dan Shikanda na rafiki yangu Senator Sakaji, mimi nitatafuta njia ya kuleta pamoja the 5 governors in Western Kenya to support AFC Leopards.
Wale ambao wanaongea kile stadium hawakuongea tu, tunaongea na sababu yake. Maana City Stadium ndio stadium ya kwanza, ndio pale ambapo historia ilifanyika. Hapa ni pale ambapo Joe Kadenge alicheza na kufunga Uganda kwa mara ya kwanza, baada ya Uganda kushinda mara 3 mfululizo.
The late Kadenge had diabetes and died at the age of 84. He left behind 2 widows and 9 children. Zakis Masame, NTV, Vihiga.
May Joe Kadenge's soul rest in eternal peace. Now, detectives from the Special Crimes Unit and the Flying Squad have arrested 4 individuals operating an illegal alcohol manufacturing plant in Kayole Estate, that's here in Nairobi County. The owner of the manufacturing plant, one Mary Waithera, is currently being hunted by detectives. NTV's Mel Miendo reports on the nabbed consignment said to be worth 4.5 million shillings in evaded tax revenue.
In Kayole, the term "a den of robbers" has now switched into a den of brewers, one that detectives have been trailing for close to 2 months. The alcohol manufactured here with unlicensed labels is said to have been retailing in the market for a long time, but no one really knew where the alcohol was being produced. Area residents sounded the alarm for the police to act.
We have done an operation last night at around midnight, and we have managed to unearth this factory, which is illegal.
The standards of the production, they also cause health hazards, and we are calling the public to cease taking the products which are produced in this nature.
Production, packaging and sealing of the illicit alcohol is all done here. As demonstrated, the manufacturing required all those involved to perfect their art of distillery. They even seal the products with fake KRA and KEBS stamps. 9 drums of ethanol have been nabbed and 4 suspects taken into custody. Detectives are still on the hunt for business owner Mary Waithera.
Another one is still at large, but soon we are going to have her. We have recovered 1 vehicle, which is fully loaded with the staff to be delivered to our innocent wananchi.
The nabbed consignment has an estimated value of 4.5 million shillings in evaded tax revenue. Mel Miendo, NTV.
And staying with the war on drugs, police in Nairobi have nabbed illicit chang'aa brew destined for Nairobi's Babadogo estate along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. The chang'aa, which was disguised as passengers' luggage, was being transported to Nairobi in a matatu. Dagoretti OCPD George Seda says they confiscated the 145 litres illicit brew during a regular check at the Kabete roadblock that's here in Nairobi County. Seda says that both the driver and the owner of the consignment are in police custody and will be arraigned on Monday.
Wakati wale abiria wengine walikuwa wanashuka ndani, wakawa suspicious na ile mizigo ilikuwa imebeba hapo ndani. Kwenda kuangalia, wakakuta kuna mzigo ilikuwa hapo ndani kwa kiti ya mbele ni chang'aa ambaye zimewekwa kwenye suitcases 2. Na wakafanya search more, wakakuta hapo ndani pia kulikuwa na nyingine imewekwa kwenye boot ya gari na nyingine iko hapo kwenye mahali abiria wengine wanakaa.
Now listen to this. Kenyans are being urged to write their wills early enough to spare their families the agony after their demise. But how many people are willing to declare their wealth to their spouse or even their children, even during their lifetime? We toured around the country in search of answers and the thoughts of Kenyans about this, and here now is Yose.
Tukianzana ningeweza kumwambia yote, lakini kwa mambo ambayo huwa inafanywa na wanawake, ndiposa wanaume wengi huwa wanaconsider usimuelezee.
I can never do that.
Because I am not also interested in knowing what he earns. I don't want expectations, a lot of unrealistic expectations.
Mimi siwezi ambia bibi mali yangu. Sababu bibi ni mtu ukiambia mali yako, shida ikitokea atakwambia mbona sasa hii inatokea na ingekuwa ile, endo tu ile tufanye nayo hii. Bibi ni mtu wa kupatia surprise kama mimi.
Most men think like when a woman is rich, she doesn't even need anything. And now they'll start taking advantage. Like now Tracy has money or like, so they'll start like, I know, as in, I'm not going to provide for her as a man since she has her own thing going on, but that is my own thing going on.
Wewe na bibi hakuna mipaka. Wakati mwingine mtu anaweza enda na ukapata ajali, mambo ikageuka, ukaacha bibi yako akiteseka na mambo na madugu, wazazi.
Mimi biashara yangu siwezi fichia bwanangu kwa sababu kabla sijaanza yeye ndiye alinipa hiyo pesa kwanza biashara, na isitoshe siwezi mficha kila kitu kwa sababu kama sina anajua, kama yeye pia kama ana anajua, kwa sababu hakuna chenye amenificha. Najua mambo yake ya nini, mshahara wake najua mpaka tarehe analipwa, ameniambia kila kitu.
Chake ni changu mimi na changu ni chake. Kwa sababu gani? Wale watoto ambao niko nao mimi ni wake na ni wangu.
Very interesting views from Kenyans there. You know how women say yangu ni yangu na yako ni yetu, so that's actually the general feeling even among our directors here tonight. 25 minutes past the hour, we take our first short break on NTV Weekend Edition. We still have plenty more for you, so don't go too far.
Kujimoto hapo na kujipodopodo.
Dakika moja tu na wewe.
Mimi nakwambia hii date mimi nitakutangulia. Mimi niende nikule, wewe utaenda kule baadaye. Utapata nimelipa. Is the thought that counts.
I'm done.
Hiyo makeup naweza iongeza hivi kachumbari, kafirifiri, naweza ifanyia ka kitu juu kidogo tu, tuma hiyo like tuone nikushuo, naweza ongeza kaladha aka sasa hiyo kachumbari.
Wow, ulijulia wapi kufanya makeup?
Mambo ni YouTube.
Get 5 GB free YouTube when you buy the all-in-one monthly bundle. Dial *544# to choose your bundle. Mambo on YouTube.
Rama Homes Limited brings you Rama Towers launch event with a 3 million discount on all purchases. This will be happening at Crown Plaza from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 20th of July 2019. Rama Towers is a mixed-use development located in Wood Avenue, Kilimani, comprising of 4-bedroom luxurious apartments with a 6-year payment plan, 0% interest, and office units retailing at 12,000 shillings per square foot with a 12-year payment plan, 0% interest. For more information, call us on 0709 658 000. Rama Homes Limited, bringing luxury home.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Melissa? Mom, it's Dad's birthday today. I'm giving him a party just like he gives me.
Nothing makes a mother more proud than seeing her child growing up. But I know that as she learns to care for others, she'll face even more germs and the risk of illnesses.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection. Just 1 cup of Dettol protects your home and family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Living in a trap house.
Oi! Nikubaya.
Uncle, what did you do? Biashara kidogo imeenda mrama. Nothing serious.
Nothing serious? 8.5 billion Kenya shillings is missing and you're saying it's nothing serious. It's very serious.
Look at you. You're all starry-eyed by Tony after one date. One date. So now you tell me. Do you really think Don is your type? Or you're just passing time with him?
Kwani hamkunika kwa sababu ya dish leo? Kuna food?
Cheka hivyo. Chika. Yo, si unaweza buy mayai mbili na kiugali. Yo si itakusort.
Living in a trap house.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. The Nandi sub-tribe is among the largest in the Kalenjin community, a majority of whom reside in Uasin Gishu and Nandi counties. They enjoy a rich culture which is continuously preserved at the Koitalel Arap Samoei Museum. Lois Wangoi visited the museum and now gives us a taste of the Nandi culture.
At the heart of Nandi Hills town is Koitalel Arap Samoei Museum. This treasure highlights the rich Nandi culture. The first spectacle here is the mausoleum of the late Koitalel Arap Samoei, a celebrated national hero who spearheaded the Nandi resistance against the colonial rule. His grave seems shorter, we notice. This is because the British chopped off and disposed his head. Inside the museum, pictures and artifacts tell the story of Koitalel. Our attention is drawn to these three sticks, which were instruments of power among the Nandi. Koitalel also carried this club-shaped stick as a sign of his military role.
As prepared from the most sacred tree amongst the Kalenjin, indeed, olive tree. Yeah? Olive tree. The middle one. Yes, olive tree.
The Nandi had a particular way of grinding their stone. It was triangular shaped to represent the Nandi's strong family values. One side represents the father, another the mother, and the other children.
She was to begin coming from the right, then to the left, then to the front.
This traditional bra made from brass or copper captures our attention. Nandi women wore it for special purposes.
These were used by women when they were moving very fast to get hold of their breasts. So this was a traditional metallic rod, and purposely it was a bra, traditional bra.
This African hat was a sign of informal education. It had low roofing and one had to bend when entering it. This was a sign of discipline.
And wherever a child was to run out from the house, the mother was to cane the child who disappeared out and to remind her that he or she was supposed to go out bending.
Lois Wangoi, NTV in the county of Nandi.
Quite a rich culture there among the Nandi. Now, the increase in the number of Chinese in Kenya has elicited a lot of reactions. Some have been laced with negative connotations. However, this is not so much the case in some parts of Baringo County, where some tourist facilities are now reaping big from the visitors from the east. Bridget Ngana takes us to the Rift County, to places where there is greater evidence of the Chinese.
In different shades of pink, these lesser and greater flamingos invite you to the shores of Lake Bogoria in thousands. It is almost sunset, and what a perfect time for a game drive at the Lake Bogoria National Reserve. By the look of things, the peak season has just begun, and it has brought with it tourists, a majority of whom are from China.
This is my first time to Africa because my husband wants to have a honeymoon with me, and he suggests that we will have a special time in Kenya.
Flamingos, so many, and also especially now with the rainbows, I think it's massive and amazing. Yes, I love Kenya. I have been to many African countries, like 23 of them, and then, but I think Kenya is very typical for animals.
Although tourists from Europe, Africa and America still lead in visiting Kenya, in the last 5 years, the country has recorded a steady growth of tourists from Asia. The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics says more than 200,000 Chinese tourists visited last year.
We are going to see this growing if our country continues to be stable, because the statistics which has been done is one of the key factors why a client chooses a destination is security, which I think it has really improved.
Some of the establishments here are now translating their messages into Chinese to bridge the language gap between the foreigners and their hosts.
We balance and ensure that there is harmony and also learn a number of languages so that we are able to communicate more efficiently.
The flamingos are one of the main attractions for the tourists who come to visit Lake Bogoria here in Baringo County. Most of them are from Asia and China, to be specific, and some of the locals have had to go to school and learn the Chinese or Mandarin language to be able to accommodate this new influx of guests from Asia. Bridget Ngana, NTV, Baringo County.
I think I need to quit journalism and go work as a tour guide in Baringo because I know a bit of Chinese, like ni hao ma, xie xie ni. Or Aini. Don't worry, I actually worked for them at some point. Now, after working as a teacher for 30 years in Turkana County, Andrew Musundi decided to venture into humanitarian work. He opened an academy to cater for the poor, vulnerable, and the forgotten. Ngangoriek Academy has an enrollment of 372 pupils, which provides academic support, meals, and after-school activities to destitute children. Rose Wangoi has more.
Ngangoriek Academy is not just any other academy. The school, which is situated in Turkana County, is a ray of hope to destitute children. Andrew Musundi, the school's founder, says he worked as a teacher in Turkana before he retired in 2017.
I've been a teacher. I had a teacher for about 30 years. I made up my mind as a teacher to pay back.
Musundi has been helping the disadvantaged, particularly street children and orphans who do not attend formal school for various reasons.
Those who are able, whose parents are able, pay around between 4,000 to 6,000. But those who don't have, pay only 500. And those who don't have completely, sometimes I ask them to pay 200 shillings per term. It is a sacrifice that I have done.
Through the years, he says he has realized that these children really want to go to school, but unfortunately lack the opportunity to do so. He provides academic support, meals, and after-school activities to more than 200 children.
Some of these children eat lunch here until the following day. So if you leave them outside the school, you find most of them go out to become street children, which I don't want.
For teachers, it's an educational triumph, and for the parents, a great satisfaction when a child learns how to read.
Zamani nilikuwa naona watoto yangu hawezi fika academy, lakini kupitia mwalimu mkuu wa shule huu amekuwa wa msaada kwetu.
Friends and well-wishers to come in and we partner and we bring up these children because these are our future Kenya.
For now, Musundi is optimistic that the influence of the academy will extend beyond the classroom as the students pass on what they have learned to their communities. Rozongoi, NTV.
Quite a noble cause there by Mr. Andrew. I want to read a tweet about a story we had earlier about writing wills long before your sunset days. And Shiro Smith says, we once worked on a case where a man had left his income earning property to the house help and the wife had no clue. Her shock during seeking letters of administration was immense. Why not clear everything out before demise instead of starting a bloodbath on your deathbed? Something to think about there as we take a break again on NTV Weekend Edition. When we come back, we tell you about women and their cars, what they know, what they don't know, what they might want to know, and the way forward. Stay with us.
Oh, you've got me on my knees. Yeah, I'm begging, baby, please.
48 megapixel Oppo F11 Pro. Brilliant portrait in low light.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Hey beautiful people, this is Gilad. On July 26th, I'll be right here at the new Nairobi Hospital Convention Center, speaking at Africa's Agripreneurs Summit 2019. For years we've known that the most available means of wealth creation for Africa is agribusiness. What was once an old and stuffy sector has now transformed into a space for young, innovative, business-minded leaders. Don't miss this unique opportunity for a front row seat to hear about agribusiness in Africa.
Hey, mister. Where you going?
Men clean their cars themselves. I'll also clean my own bike. I'm grown up now.
Then you'll need this. The most pleasant surprise for a mother is to see her child growing up. But I know as he learns to take more responsibility, he'll face more dirt, germs, and the risk of illness.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection, because Dettol cleans and protects against 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Making my family some nutritious porridge is a painstaking process. First, I have to find all the ingredients needed, and there are many. For vitamins, proteins, and minerals, I need cassava, sorghum, millet. You no longer need to go through all that to make nutritious porridge. All you need is NutriPro.
You don't have to go through the trouble of finding, measuring, and weighing all these vital ingredients. New NutriPro porridge flour comes fortified with 13 vitamins, proteins, and minerals. This means that you have more time to focus on what's important, giving your family the healthy start they deserve. NutriPro, bringing families together. From Tropical Brand.
I told you to kick it more to the left.
No, kick it higher.
No, to the left.
Come on, guys, stop it. Remember the win.
OneXBet, African betting partner of Tottenham Hotspur.
You in the pollution? Yes, you. Dry throat? Strepsils. Gal in the smoke with a raspy voice? Strepsils. Hello, in the downpour with a scratchy throat? Take Strepsils. Get soothing relief for any throat irritation. Strepsils with its medicinal ingredients will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, shower head, basin, and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
Welcome back. Now, ladies, gather around. Let's have a conversation. How well do you understand the mechanics of your car? Can you identify the parts, basic or otherwise, change a flat tire, or do you know the prices of the parts you need during service? It has been said that not many female car owners are able to tell when they are being overcharged by their mechanics. Is this just a reality or a misplaced stereotype? Nonetheless, the narrative is slowly changing as women are now willing to get their hands dirty. NTV's Helen Aura was at a car clinic in Nairobi today where women were urged to invest a bit more time in understanding their automobiles.
A drive through Nairobi and you can see countless women behind the wheel. But owning a motor vehicle requires knowledge of basic mechanical, and majority of women tend to avoid the dirty work. Irene Jaguna struggled to find her way around her car.
Okay, I don't know. I give up.
Irene is one of the many female drivers who stopped by at the AA clinic on Saturday morning to get a few tips on car maintenance. Hers was informed by the fact that mechanics often rip off women when servicing their cars.
Do I know my wear on the car? No. Maybe the most I can do is add water for the wipers. That's the best I can do. Whenever I'm stranded, I always call my husband. He always comes to my rescue or sends someone.
Leading the tutorials today is Jacinta Mukali. This is a passion which began at a tender age.
I've experienced that a lot of women being conned, and one thing it's because they even don't know the values of their vehicle. They don't know the parts, they don't know which part is which, what's the name of the part, where they can get the spare parts from.
But even with her experience, Mukali says it is not easy.
Some men say, a woman is going to do this for me. I really doubt she's going to do it well. But then sometimes, okay, since my boss knows me very well, they tell me that just do it and then prove them wrong. So I go do the job that is required for the particular vehicle. And once it's done, the men are like, wow, if this can be done, then a woman can do this better.
Lady mechanics, they do very well. We have a number of them in our yard. They do it very, very well. And we cannot only encourage them that they can take a career in any area and they'll be able to succeed.
What a man can do, a woman can indeed do better. That is the mantra Jacinta lives by in this male-dominated industry as she continues to ensure women get to know their way around their vehicles. Helen Aura, NTV.
That story about women calling their spouses or their better halves when they have problems in the car is actually indeed true. But let's be honest, gentlemen, there are many of us who don't understand our cars as well. I mean, let's just be honest, we don't know most of the things except, changing the water for the wipers, as the lady there said. Let's take another break on NTV Weekend Edition. When we come back, it's your favorite segments, Have You Heard, History Saturday, and some funny clip of the week. Stay with us.
Why are so many children absent? Children have become weaker. Children have not become weaker. Infection-causing germs have become stronger, making infections more severe. New Lifebuoy with Active Natural protects from today's stronger germs.
Nation FM. More music and less talk. Nairobi 96.3, Mombasa 101.5, Meru 93.9, Nyeri 104.9, Eldoret 102.7, and Nakuru on 97.7. Follow us on social media on Facebook at Nation FM, Instagram at Nation FM, and on Twitter at Nation FM KE. Nation FM. More music and less talk.
Children bring joy to our lives, but they grow up so fast. Soon it's time for college, and by that time, college fees can be a huge expense. For as little as 3,500 Kenya shillings, Educare combines life insurance with savings for college. Download the SE mobile app, open an account and start saving now. Be life ready.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth, causing that discomfort. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne to their patients. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down, and the proof's in the results. It works.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. It's now time for your favorite Saturday segments. Have you heard about this Catholic faithful and student priest from Chile who transforms into a devil once in a while? Well, Gabriel Albuquerque does not really mean to confuse his congregants. He just does it occasionally for the country's largest festival in honor of the Virgin of Carmel in northern Chile. Maybe this will help the congregants understand the message better. How about that? Have you heard about this American man who had a unique plan to get the attention of the city's public works department by throwing a birthday party for a pothole that he had been complaining about for a while? Frank Sereno posted pictures on Facebook of a sliced birthday cake with a number 3 candle placed inside the pothole. Well, you know what to do about that pothole in your neighborhood if the authorities won't fix it. By the way, have you heard about these friendly robots that can speak, sing, and even rap in multiple languages? These robots are being rolled out across the high-tech Singapore to help clean the city-states, hotels, shopping malls, and government buildings. The company that is making them says their vision is not to replace humans, but to extend the capabilities and to help ease work for humans. Listen to them rap. Still on technology, have you heard about this all-electric but incredibly powerful new car model? The Evija, manufactured by Lotus, has an electrified powertrain of roughly 1,973 horsepower and fully charges in just 9 minutes. Well, sports car fans, this beaut is yours for only $2.1 million, which translates to a very modest amount of 210 million Kenya shillings. Quite affordable, right? It's a time now for History Saturday, and on July 16th, 2017, Nairobi set a record for the highest attendance in the history of the IAAF World Under-18 Championships. A record 60,000 fans thronged the Kasarani Stadium for the final day of the championships, which were being held for the first time in the continent. We host the Under-20 Championships again next year. On July 15, 2018, former France captain Didier Deschamps became only the third player in history to win the FIFA World Cup as a player and a coach, as his France side beat Croatia 4-2 at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow. Kylian Mbappe also became one of the youngest players in history to score in a cup final. On 16th July 1439, King Henry VI banned kissing in England to stop the Black Death from spreading. This ban was in response to yet another outbreak of a plague. This particular plague was not probably the bubonic plague, which caused an epidemic known as the Black Death, in which some entire populations were actually wiped out. On July 17, 1959, anthropologist Mary Leakey discovered partial skull of a new species of early human ancestor, Zinjanthropus boisei, now called Paranthropus boisei, believed to have lived in Africa almost 2 years ago. Early analysis of the artifact showed that this species was equipped with a small brain but massive teeth and jaws. On July 18, 1995, former U.S. President Barack Obama's memoir, Dreams from My Father, was published by Times Books. The book, which is one of the best-selling in the world, detailed the early life of Obama, from tracing back his roots in Kenya to race relations in the United States. Make sure you read this if you haven't. On July 20, 1969, American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans in history to set foot onto the moon, and even watched on an event watched on television by 500 million people. A little over 6 hours after touching down, Armstrong placed his left foot on the lunar surface. Away from history, and it's now time to have a look at the week in numbers. Our first big number this week is 316 billion. This is the amount of money proposed in the amended Division of Revenue Bill by the National Assembly following a protracted war between the Senate and the National Assembly. As expected, the senators and the county governors have rejected it, instead sticking to the 335 billion shillings proposed by the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Our second big number this week is 1,222,541. This is the number of signatures verified by the IBC, which gave the go-ahead for the Punguza Mizigo referendum push by the Third Way Alliance Party of Kenya, led by Kuru Aukot. The bill will now be sent to the 47 county assemblies for debate. The results are expected in 3 months' time, and the bill must be passed in at least 24 counties. Our next big number of this week is 10. This is the number of months that former TV anchor Esther Arunga will serve on parole for being an accessory to the manslaughter of her son. The Supreme Court in Brisbane, Australia, says the sentence took into account mitigating factors that explained her behavior 4 years ago. Our final big number this week is 1 trillion. This is the total asset value of the cooperative movement in the country, according to the government. During his Ushirika Day address at KICC today, President Uhuru Kenyatta said that SACCOs have a loan portfolio of 732 billion shillings, which is 30% of the gross national savings. And that is your week in numbers. Now, they say the jungle is survival for the fittest, and not many target prey survive an attack by the big cats. But one animal, the Thompson's gazelle, in one of Kenya's national parks, came up with a good plan to survive the ferocious charge of a lion. Take a look at this dummy that sent the lion the wrong way in our clip of the week.
Where the hell did she go? Where the hell did she go?
Well, how about that for a dummy? The lion actually did not stop. Maybe out of shame, went straight ahead along that path. Let's take a break. When we come back, Brian Otwell has all the sports you need to know this Saturday. Stay with us.
Can I buy a chocolate, please? It's for my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, Bella. There's a class and a half in everyone.
Living in a trap house.
Oi! Nikubaya. Uncle, what did you do? Biashara kidogo imeenda mrama. Nothing serious. Nothing serious? 8.5 billion Kenya shillings is missing and you're saying it's nothing serious. It's very serious. Hey!
Look at you. You're all starry-eyed by Tony after one date. One date. So now you tell me. Do you really think Don is your type? Or you're just passing time with him?
Kwani hamkunika kwa sababu ya dish leo? Kuna food? Cheka hivyo. Cheka. Yo si unaweza buy mayai mbili na kiugali. Yo si itakusort.
Living in a trap house.
Let's have a look at the day's sports news. Welcome, my name is Brian Otwal. Calls to have a stadium named after Kenyan football legend Joe Kadenge were once again voiced, with a suggestion of construction of a statue in his honor also made as the legend was laid to rest in his rural Gisambai village, Hamisi sub-county. The burial ceremony for one of the best-known Kenyan footballers who dazzled with his dribbling skills in the 1950s, 1960s and 70s was held at the Gisambai Primary School with multitudes of regular Kenyans and sporting and political dignitaries in attendance. The legend, whose exploits on the pitch birthed the catchphrase Kadenge Nampira, passed away aged 84 years. May his soul rest in peace. And curtains came down on the Kenyan Prison Service Athletics Championships, with a strong team selected to fly the prison's flag during the national championships that double up as trials for the IAAF World Championships. This as Muranga will boast of a team in the National Super League and the cash prizes for the lucrative details in our sports roundup. The road to the national trials concluded with Prison Service holding their championships at the Kasarani Stadium. World and Commonwealth Games 1500 meter silver medalist Timothy Cheriot was victorious in the men's 800 meters. Olympic 800 meter silver medalist Margaret Nyairera won the women's two-lap race, while World under 20 3000 meters